On the show, we have extensively reported about China's criminal negligence, how China unleashed a pandemic by trying to hide the virus. The anger against the Communist Party is growing. There is a growing demand for accountability. How can China be legally held guilty for the Wuhan coronavirus outbreak? Can a lawsuit be filed against Beijing? Can Italy, a country which is the worst affected country, by the way, sue China? Can Italy sue China for this pandemic? Should China be made to pay reparations? We've been discussing this with international legal experts, and in America, we can tell you, the lawsuits have already begun. A law firm in Florida has sued the People's Republic of China, the Chinese government. And this may be just the beginning, one of the many legal challenges that China is going to face in the coming weeks. WION has accessed a copy of this lawsuit from Florida. It blames China for failing to report the disease. It says that China acted slowly and, quote-unquote, put their head in the sand. The lawsuit blames China for covering up the Wuhan outbreak. This legal challenge only validates WION's coverage of the outbreak. Since we began covering the coronavirus story, we have reported on every aspect: how the first cases emerged towards the end of 2019, how China did not report the outbreak till January, how test samples were destroyed, how whistleblowers were muzzled. The lawsuit in Florida touches each of these points, and it demands damages from Beijing. But will the legal challenge work? Can China be held accountable in international courts? Legal professionals have different opinions on this. Fox News in the US carried an extensive report about this, and they spoke to Nitsana Darshan-Litna. This is an Israeli lawyer who specializes in suing terrorist groups and governments for human rights abuses. And she says that while China enjoys sovereign immunity, it should be held accountable for trying to conceal the Wuhan virus from the world. The lawsuit may or may not work, but it does send a message. It highlights China's criminal negligence. Sample some of the scathing statements that this lawsuit makes, and I'm quoting. China knew COVID-19 was spread human to human by the 3rd of January, but told the public otherwise. In other words, the government lied. Again, this lawsuit goes on to say, and I'm quoting, President Xi Jinping originally stated that he directed officials to contain the virus on the 7th of January. But it has emerged that he did not do that. He actually waited till the 22nd to do direct containment, meaning the government was awfully late in acting. Again, the lawsuit says, and I'm quoting, leaders in Wuhan held a public dinner for more than 40,000 families on the 18th of January, despite knowing the ease of human-to-human spread of the virus. If this isn't criminal negligence, we ask, what is? These are damning details. This Florida case will be a landmark one. We'll continue pursuing details and legal opinion on how this goes. It will set a precedent. This case will set a precedent for governments being held accountable for criminal negligence that cost thousands of lives the world over. Watch this space for updates.